what if the forest isn't as peaceful as it seems? While we often envision forests as calm and serene, they can harbor dark secrets waiting to be uncovered. Cameras capture moments that are scarier than any ghost story, real events that have shocked even the biggest skeptics. Join us as we explore 4 of the most disturbing forest encounters ever caught on camera. Viewer discretion is advised. The camera begins with shaky night vision footage, revealing a thick, foreboding forest. Silence envelops the area, broken only by the crunch of footsteps and the occasional breath from behind the lens. The atmosphere is suffocating, and the darkness feels alive, as if the woods had eyes and they weren't blinking. Suddenly, movement halts. Off in the distance, illuminated by a flickering flashlight, a tall, dark figure stands motionless between the trees. It doesn't blink or react when called out. The person filming, a young man named Jake, feels a chill crawl down his spine. Jake wasn't just another thrill seeker. He'd spent years documenting abandoned places, chasing shadows and forgotten stories. But this forest, it felt different. He'd hesitated before making the trip. Something about the locals' warnings stuck with him. His heart races as he zooms in on the distant figure. A cold dread coils in his gut. Then, panic. Muffled swearing breaks the silence. His breaths turn ragged, quick. The footage glitches for a moment, warping the image. And when it stabilizes, the figure is gone. Even the insects had gone quiet. Then, a sudden crunch behind him. The unmistakable sound of something crashing through the underbrush. The camera swings wildly, catching nothing but darkness. When he turns back, the figure is impossibly closer, looming silently like a dark omen. It hasn't made a sound, yet the air grows colder and a chill runs down his spine. Jake's mind races as he tries to rationalize what he's seeing. It's a trick of the light, he mutters to himself, though deep down he knows that something isn't right. He grips the camera tighter, his knuckles white, and takes a step back, heart pounding in his chest. The realization hits him. Something is lurking, and it's closer than ever. The figure, now only a few feet away, begins to take shape, its features obscured by the darkness. Jake stumbles backward, his breath quickening, and he turns to run. The camera shakes violently, capturing the chaos of his escape as branches whip against his face and the underbrush snaps beneath his feet. As he navigates the treacherous terrain, the sound of footsteps echoes behind him, growing louder and more menacing. He glances back, but the figure is gone, leaving only the smothering quiet of the forest. The darkness closes in. A primal fear grips his heart. Right when he thinks he's safe, a low growl, guttural and broken, cuts through the silence, like something breathing through cracked bone, reverberating through the stillness. Panic surges again, and he bolts deeper into the woods, the camera capturing his frantic breaths, mingling with the relentless whispers that seem to follow him, taunting him. The footage ends abruptly as he stumbles, the screen going dark, leaving viewers with a chilling reminder that some shadows are best left undisturbed. That moment could have ended much worse. But what do you do when the shadows start moving towards you? Let's find out. He was only looking for a place to rest. After hours of hiking through thick woods, he set down his backpack and let the camera keep rolling while he caught his breath in a quiet clearing. It was supposed to be a peaceful break. Birds chirping, trees swaying gently, nothing unusual. But something on the edge of the frame caught movement. Barely noticeable at first, like a figure standing far off in the trees. At first, he didn't even react. Maybe a deer, maybe just the light playing tricks. But the shape didn't move like an animal. It was tall. Thin. Too tall. It stepped forward, its limbs moving stiff and awkward, like its body wasn't meant to walk upright. The man turns the camera toward it, zooming in slowly. That's when the shape becomes clearer. Not a person, not any known creature. Its skin, if that's what it was, looked pale and almost stretched. Its arms hung low, almost to its knees. It didn't blink, didn't speak, just stood there, staring straight at him. You can hear the man's breathing shift in the audio. It goes from calm to sharp and shallow. a hush so thick it felt wrong, like the forest itself is holding its breath. He whispers more to himself than to the camera. Why is it standing like that? What kind of person stands like that? But the thing reacts to his voice. Its head twitches, fast, too fast, and then it starts walking straight toward him. The man stumbles back. The camera shakes as he grabs it, backing away, tripping over roots, panic setting in. The thing doesn't run. It keeps walking, never breaking eye contact. Calm, controlled, like it's done this before. The clip ends with the camera hitting the ground at an angle. Leaves fill the screen. And in the corner, that same figure, now only a few yards away, still watching, still silent. Whatever it wasn't meant to be seen. Would you have kept filming or dropped the camera and ran? What comes next is even harder to explain. And if stories like this keep you locked in, don't forget to subscribe. There's more real footage, more chaos, and more unraveling just ahead. Deep within an isolated forest, locals call Dead Root Hollow, a place where strange things are said to happen when the wind dies down. A solo camper named Mark seeks solace from the chaos of daily life. An experienced outdoor enthusiast, he relishes the tranquility of nature. As he sets up his tent, the towering trees loom ominously around him, their gnarled branches twisting like fingers reaching out from the shadows. As the sun dips below the horizon, twilight blankets the woods in an eerie stillness, and the air grows thick with anticipation. Night falls, and Mark captures the serene sounds of nature, the crackling fire, distant hoots of owls, and rustling leaves whispering secrets to the wind. He feels at peace, surrounded by the beauty of the forest. But as darkness envelops him, an unsettling shift occurs. Faint whispers emerge, seemingly rising from the very earth, echoing through the trees. The whispers weren't just around him, they were inside the mic, inside the camera, hissing directly into the lens. At first, he brushes them off, convincing himself they're merely the sounds of the forest settling into night. "Hello?" he calls out, his voice trembling slightly. Silence answers him, thick and suffocating. The whispers grow louder, more distinct, weaving through the air like a sinister melody. "Mark! Mark!" they chant, repeating his name in a haunting chorus. A cold dread washes over him as he realizes these voices are not figments of his imagination, but something far more sinister. Grabbing his camera, he scans the darkness, the beam of light shaking as his hands tremble. Shadows twist and turn, but nothing is there, only the oppressive dead air that seems to close in around him. The whispers intensify, now accompanied by the sound of footsteps circling his tent. Soft, yet deliberate, like a predator stalking its prey. His heart races, each beat echoing in his ears as panic grips him. In a desperate bid to escape the unseen terror, he bolts into the suffocating darkness, the camera capturing his frantic breaths, mingling with the relentless whispers that seem to follow him, taunting him. The forest, once a peaceful sanctuary, morphs into a labyrinth of terror, each tree a looming specter in the night. As he runs, the whispers crescendo, a cacophony of voices urging him to return, to listen, to surrender to their call. In his frenzied escape, he stumbles, the camera clattering to the ground. The footage captures a chaotic view of the forest floor, the underbrush rustling ominously before tilting upwards, pointing towards the swaying trees, their branches twisting like skeletal fingers against the ink-black sky. The whispers fade, leaving behind a stillness that presses harder than any sound. Mark's heart pounds in his chest as he scrambles to retrieve his camera, his breath coming in gasps. The screen flickers, revealing glimpses of the forest around him, dark, foreboding, and seemingly alive. Shadows dance at the periphery of his vision, and he feels the weight of unseen eyes upon him. In a moment of desperation, he calls out, "If you're a person, say something normal." The response is a chilling echo of his own voice, twisted and distorted, as if the forest itself is mocking him. The screen goes dark, but the feeling of being watched lingers, a chilling reminder of the encounter
on his walk that day.
What began as a peaceful night in the woods became a living nightmare, chilling
camper
reminder
with the
that some
TikTok
secrets in
username
nature are meant to stay
Creed4
buried.
is out on a crisp nature walk
Mark was
through
found
the
3
Appalachian
days
forest.
later.
The sun
Silent,
is shining,
eyes
the
wide.
birds were just singing,
never spoke again.
and nature seems to be
But his
extending a
friends swear
hand to Creed4, as
sometimes
there's an
when the wind
adorable
moves just
rabbit
right, you
waiting
can hear
right
him
in his
whispering in the
path.
trees.
He is actually
A
surprised
group
that
of
the
urban
rabbit lets him
explorers,
get so
driven by
close,
curiosity
as
and
they
a
are
thirst for
normally
adventure,
very skittish around
stumbles
humans.
upon an abandoned
This
path
gives him
deep within the
significant
forest.
pause
An
as he
eerie
attempts to
trail
get
that
his
locals
bearings.
insist
Creed4
should not
notices
exist.
the forest has gone oddly
Armed with their
silent.
cameras, they push past overgrown brush and strange wooden symbols hanging from the trees, each one etched with unsettling markings that seem to pulse with ancient energy. The air is thick with an unnatural stillness. It's quiet, too quiet. Not even birds or insects stir here. The air is thick with an unnatural hush that tightens around them like a noose. As they venture deeper into the woods, the atmosphere grows increasingly tense. Shadows stretch and twist, creating ghostly figures that dance in the corners of their vision. The explorers exchange nervous glances, their bravado waning as the sun sinks lower, casting long, sinister shadows through the trees. Around the 11-minute mark, the camera captures something strange in the distance. A girl, pale as moonlight, dressed in a flowing white dress, standing perfectly still among the trees. At
As
first,
he
they think
moves
it's a
forward,
prank.
he begins
Clever
to
ruse
hear
to
a
scare them.
strange whimpering
But the
coming
girl
up
doesn't
from
move,
ahead of
doesn't
him.
speak.
It doesn't sound like
She
an
simply
animal,
stares with
but
an
it doesn't
unsettling
necessarily
intensity,
sound
her
human
gaze piercing
either.
through the shadows
It's
like a
unsettling, to say the least.
One of the
The
explorers,
noises
a bold
continue,
young woman
and
named
they
Sarah,
eventually
tries to shake
unsettle
off the growing
Creed4
dread.
enough to break out into a brisk
"Hey,
run.
are you lost?" she calls out, her voice echoing in the stillness. Her words vanish into the stillness
The
like
noises
they were
grow
never spoken,
louder, with some
amplifying the
commenters
tension.
pointing out that they can hear
She
a
steps
muffled
closer,
"Help
attempting to
me."
lighten the mood with
Some
a joke,
believe
but
Creed4
nervous
stumbled
laughter
across
follows,
what's called
echoing
a mimic,
awkwardly in the
who
quiet.
can use their voice to sound human
Suddenly,
in
in
an
a blink,
attempt
the
to
girl
lure
vanishes.
Appalachians to a certain
footsteps,
death.
no rustling
What
of
do you
leaves.
think Creed4 stumbled
She
across?
vanished, as if she'd never existed. The camera
Brown
pans the
mountain
area,
lights.
capturing nothing but
Meet
the ominous
Jesse Doyle
trees and
from
the
the
thickening
channel
gloom.
Hellbent Holler.
Moments later,
She is
the
out
audio
with her
picks up
friend
something
Joe
chilling.
at the Brown Mountain
child's
Range in
giggle, faint,
Appalachia,
yet
hoping
echoing
to
through the
capture the
trees,
mysterious
sending
enigma
shivers down their
called
spines.
the Brown Mountain Lights,
The laughter
which are
is
so-called
innocent, yet it
ghost
carries an
lights.
unsettling
Everyone and their
undertone,
mother
as
has a
if
different
mocking their
explanation
fear.
for them, but they are
Then,
mostly considered to be alien in nature,
The same girl
even having an
reappears,
episode of The
much closer
X-Files
this time,
inspired
her
by them.
expression
Jesse and her
unreadable,
father
still
are ready to
staring
see
with
the
that
Brown
haunting
Mountain
gaze.
Lights for themselves.
One of the
You guys are
explorers
wondering
whispers,
what I'm using
"That's
to do
not
this.
a real
This
person."
is a psionics.
Panic creeping into his
Aurora
voice.
Sport. It's,
The group's laughter fades, replaced by palpable
is
fears. They
a
decide to turn back,
Awesome.
their instincts
little
screaming that
just
something is
night
terribly
vision
wrong.
camera here.
Got one?
But the
Got
forest
one.
has
All right,
shifted.
can you take the phone?
The path they came
Up to it?
from is no longer there. Branches twist in unfamiliar ways, and their markers have vanished,
Whoa.
as if the woods
Oh my
themselves are
God.
conspiring against them. The air grows cold, and a sense of dread settles in their bones.
By town, so there's just
As they try to
nothing
retrace their steps, the girl
that's-
appears
if you see
again.
those, don't think that
This
those are the
time only a
lights, but
few
the
feet
lights we're
away,
catching are down in the
her face
gorge.
obscured by long
And
black
then
hair
along
that
the
hangs like a
unlit
curtain.
I've got one
hiding
here, but you're
whatever
not going to
lies
be able to
beneath.
see it even if I hold the thing up. There it
The
goes.
giggling grows
It's
louder,
flashing.
now surrounding them.
There it goes.
A chorus
Wow.
of innocent laughter
You're not going to be able to
turned
see it. It's
sinister,
very faint.
echoing in the stillness of the night. The explorers' hearts race as they
All right,
realize
I
they
hope
are
I
being
got
toyed
that.
with, trapped in a game
Yeah, I
they
wish
can't
there
win.
wasn't that light
The
pollution
footage
over there,
ends
but
abruptly in a burst of static as
What
the
do you
camera
think they are,
falls,
Joe?
capturing a moment of raw terror before
and
cutting
again,
out
I've looked into
mid-screen.
everything from
No one
electric
knows
effect,
what happened afterward. The video was later recovered,
earthquake
found on a
lights,
device
everything
left
like
at the
that.
forest edge. Its owner
honestly,
never identified. Their fate
There's
shrouded
no
in
rational
mystery.
explanation that makes sense yet.
This
It might
chilling
be a
tale
natural
serves as a warning.
occurring
Some
phenomenon,
paths are better
but
left unexplored, and some
we've
encounters
seen
are
them and
best
they've acted
forgotten
intelligently,
before they
where
consume
they
you
chased
entirely.
each other around up and down Lost
Some
Cove.
say the
They
forest is
followed us.
peaceful, but the truth
I
is
don't
it's
know. I
ancient,
don't know.
and ancient
Jesse
things don't
explains
forget.
how she is able to capture
Every
them
shadow,
as she
every
and her
whisper,
friend
every
Joe are
glance from the trees
gobsmacked by what they see.
might be something
Jesse
watching.
asks Joe if he knows
Something
what they
that
are,
doesn't want to
but
be
Joe
seen,
isn't really
but
able to
doesn't
come
want
up
you to
with a
leave
suitable
either.
explanation. No one is.
The people in these
Their
videos
existence
thought they
is a
were
total
alone.
mystery.
They weren't.
Do you have
And
a,
if you ever find yourself
do you have
deep
your
in the
flashlight
woods
on
and
you?
the air turns
Yeah, but
cold
I
and
can't
the
get to it right
silence
now. What do
feels
you
too
need?
I've got
loud,
one on me.
don't ask who's
I
there.
don't know. I was gonna try to signal
Because if
and see if
something
something would
answers,
happen. See if there's like a response.
It's already too
Give it a
late.
shot.
So next time the wind dies down and the trees fall still, don't listen too closely. You might hear them whisper your name. Which one of these encounters stayed with you? Drop it in the comments, and remember, the next time you step into the forest, you might not walk out alone.
We do not have laser
Oh
pointers.
my god.
You got a good one?
I got one in the air floating.
What?
I have one floating above the mountain.
I see it.
Do you see it with your eyes? Do you see it with your eyes? It's red. And it's like reddish orange.
It's dipping down in the trees and then it's coming back up.
Oh, it's above the mountain. Oh my god, it's orange. Do you see that?
It's not a plane.
No, it's not a plane. It's floating right above the mountain. Yeah, you've got a double camera situation here. It is not working. I'm filming this thing though. It's moving. It's moving. It's moving.
It was stationary, then it started moving again?
It's moving behind the ridge. It's floating behind the ridge. It floated right behind that, right there.
Okay.
It just moved so slowly. It stood in one spot and then it just floated right behind the mountain. Holy crap, that one was like red-orange. People have reported them being white, red, blue. But that was like reddish-orange. I've been filming. I hope I got it.
Jesse hatches a plan to try to see if they're able to get a response from the ghost lights, to test if they really are as intelligent as everyone says. She manages to spot one floating above the mountain, this time a strange orangish color.
You see that? You see the lights? Those are rising out of the mountain. We are capturing
They're
the brown.
rising up and then they're just flickering out. They're getting really bright and then they're just fading away.
Yeah.
That's bright as move the psionics way just for a second. I think you could probably get that with just your phone camera.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that. Look at that.
Yeah, you can.
All right, give me this. I'm gonna film on this.
Get my other glove.
It's freezing off.
This one's changing colors. It's yellow on this right now. There's another one lifting up off. You might be able to see it in a second. To the left of the bright one.
Oh, this one's getting really bright now.
Yeah. But there's another one lifting off to the left of it.
This one's getting super bright. This is great. This is absolutely great. We've never been here before. We have
The other one disappeared. The other one just winked out to the left.
This one's getting so bright.
It's just slowly drifting up.
Yeah.
You can see it on your cell phone?
Yeah. We've got the light is on the cell phone. It's rising.
Another one's rising up to the right of it. Tell me when you got it in frame. You just can't press it up against there?
I can, but you see how it zeroes, it kind of like flashes out. You can't really get the...
You want me to drop the intensity on the screen down a little bit?
There you go. What do you guys think about that?
Just hovering. Can you still see the faint one to the side of it?
There's one rising up right now.
Yeah.
Guys, we are watching another one emerge from the mountain right now. We're watching another one emerge from the mountain on the right side.
Keep filming. I'm walking up here. I keep hearing something with the woods behind us.
Okay.
Just, you keep this flashlight. It's going into your left pocket.
Okay.
All right. Left pocket right there.
Can you guys see that?
Listen out for me.
Look, guys, it is cresting over that mountain right now. Look at it. It is rising up over that mountain. That is so cool. We are watching the brown mountain lights live. That one on the left looks like it's starting to fade out. The one on the left is completely gone.
The one on the left went dead. Is the bright one
It just
still
went
there?
out. The one that's rising right now.
There's two right now. Can
There's
you see
another
them?
one rising. Yeah.
Yeah.
What is this?
I feel like we're being invaded or something.
I know,
That's so
Kevin,
sick.
we are at Brown Mountain Lights and we are capturing the Brown Mountain Lights rising from the horizon right now.
The light show only grows, as now several orbs are flashing in the sky above the trees, growing smaller, and then growing twice the size seconds later. It really is a sight to behold.
We are freezing to death. This is our first time ever coming to see the Brown Mountain Lights, and we did not get disappointed this time. This was really freaking cool, so we're definitely going to come back. Unfortunately, we've decided we're gonna have to buy a better version of the psionics, because I did not realize what a light show this would be. But this was just, there's another one rising over there right now. But this was just such a treat. This was
Kaiju Ninja is getting banned from the damn channel. He's on here going, swamp gas, lol.
Yeah, this is so cool. This is so rad.
Swamp gas,
This
lol.
is something I've always wanted to do, and we don't live too far from here. We've just never done this before. But this has been so freaking cool. This has been way better than I thought it would be. We saw lights down in the valley. We saw lights rising off the side of the mountain. So what's the verdict on the Brown Mountain Lights? Legit?
Yeah, so legit, totally legit.
Jesse and Joe decide to head home after a majority of the lights die down, but remain committed to coming back and exploring further. As of today, Jesse is working on